fuck out of bed, bitch. Go. Get up and get the guy go. Time to wake up, bitch. Get up.
Like I said, he'll go from villain to the star of the next bull run. Maybe. I mean, if he becomes a star of the next bull run, that means things are going really well for Bitcoin. So we want the redemption arc to come back. We want Michael Saylor to be the the star. That it means things are really good if he's back on top, which would mean things are really good for all of us, which is indicative of this little pump. Now, this is more of a pump than I think we really fully understand. Like she kept going yesterday. Every time I would check it, it's like, wow, it's going up $1,000. It felt like this pump felt like that pump last 2024. It felt like the November pump when Trump was the hero for that brief little moment. And the price just kept on going. You just look at the phone, $1,000 more. It's like $1,000 more, $1,000 more. Now this is a nice little wick of denial. I mean, this is what we see kind of at the top, but it's like it's the kind of pump that you start cheering for because it won't stop. You know, like how most of the times we're side-eyeing these pumps, like I don't really buy it. I don't really buy this pump. This pump is a pump you can buy. Now, I've seen a lot of videos being made. Who's buying? Who's buying? That's a good question, because my fear of this pump is that if it's one big buyer or like one or two big buyers without retail coming in and fluffing the tires of the big buyers, we may see a little bit of a retraction, which is normal on a massive pump like this. Remember, these pumps need a break. This is like the first liner of the hockey team. Remember, like it went up. We did this last week, and this like the first line went on, pumped us up, made that bull flag right here, and then we sat here for the first and second period as the second and third and fourth line kind of did their thing. We don't expect much from them. They're the second, third line. And then when the first line came on again, holy shit. So like this is a 4-hour chart. So it's kind of an exaggeration of one, but that's like, so I wonder if there's any, if it's, let's check out this guy. So this was an old channel of ascension that was basically a bear flag. Let's see if we extend this out. If it, I don't want to fuck it up. Are we doing it? Yeah. There we go. So blasted through that, through a long hair don't care wick above this old channel of ascension. Still had a little respect for the market memory. Oh, we're way over there. And then now we're going to come up against it again. So let's go over on the ding dong to check out what we had for the Fibonacci. We gotta increase our Fibonacci's here. So now 38.2% fib, move the eyeballs, is at 73. So 73 would be a healthy retracement from this massive pump. What is this arbitrary doodle that it would fall on? Don't even remember making this. Is this where the 200 moving average? What we would see, maybe a continuation of the 200 moving average. Who knows? Back then, wild bear market days, you don't even know what the hell's going on half the time with with the charts and your life. So 23.6% fib would be 75.5. That's kind of a no-brainer to retouch. It needs a break. Like historically, my biggest takeaway from this pump is that it's reminded me that there is a little life in our little gal. Do you know what I mean? Like these are pretty decent pumps. We're just so inoculated to the concept of pump because it was really 2024. We're talking about 2 years ago when we had that pump, that leading up to Trump pump in November, where it went up like more than this. That was the last time it kind of really pumped, because then from there we just slowly had slow increments up to 126. There was no real violence in the market, but this is like we just go green to green. To wick is 26% to candle close right now. It hasn't closed yet. It's about 23%. That's a substantial pump. Now, I remember on Monday, it's like, well, what would invalidate this little head and shoulders pattern? I was like, well, we need to really blast up and through, even at minimum to the 200 moving average. And then what does it do? Boom, all the way. So we're very high above our moving average. Look, where were the moving averages on the 4-hour chart here? This 20 moving average is down at 69. That would make sense, but it's coming up fast. If we have a little more of a pump, we may see this kind of come up to this old channel of ascension at 74.3, which would make a lot of sense. But this is the first time we've been above this, and so this is my love boat theory. How cruise ships just stay by the shore. They don't go too far. You might not know this, but they don't, unless they're doing the transatlantic. They stay close to the shore. You can always kind of see lights. I worked on a cruise ship, remember? So this is what we're doing. We're a little bit far off from the moving averages, and we just naturally will come back to it. Some legacy astrologists call that mean reversion. I call it the love boat theory. We have difference. We see things differently, me and the technical astrologists. So you can see us coming back and mean reverting. It would still be pretty high, because this is the most important part of this. Which cruise line e-money? It was the MS Sunbird. MS Sunbird. It was a kind of a dinkier ship. Then it wasn't one of those mega ships. It was still massive, but it was not that nice. A lot of Brits too. Brits don't tip. FYI, not in their social culture or whatever, or they think it's built in. Maybe it is where they are. Anyway, the most important part here is when you take a look at the weekly chart. Where are we here on the weekly? You can see we blasted past our rejection zone is up here is down here at 67.1. So it's pretty safe. Knock on wood. That Army Pipes, morning, buddy. It's pretty safe that we will. I don't want to jinx it. But I think we're going to close above 67.3 this weekend, which would be something to stack on where we are in the bear market. So when we stop getting denied at these 38.2% fib retracements from last swing high to last swing low, that's a good sign. Now, we could still stay above it for a couple weeks and then get rejected. But if we stay, because normally the last time we beat these rejection zones, we never see the price again. So we never see 67.7. So the good story of this rejection zone, if it holds, is that, and historically we'll never see $67,000 again if she holds. Now, is there any correlation between any of this? Yeah. So what did we say? That 20 moving average on the 4-hour chart was about 69.6, and you can see this channel of ascension, aka the bear flag, is also at around that same price. So you could, it's like that would leave a very demoralizing wick. You can imagine, right? If we were to wick all the way down to here for, before Sunday, that'd be crazy. It would be very demoralizing for the bots, right? I think it's almost like, dare I say, a little bit too violent to see that. What would that be if we came all the way back down here? That would be a 12% dump. It's not too crazy. Like your shirt, Matty B. Thanks, Matt Grimes. I think I have it linked in the show notes. There's a bunch of links to if you want it. You can get a bunny hug too. I have them all. Bunny hug, tank top, t-shirt. I even got a coffee cup for Duke's jiu-jitsu coach. It says conspiracy theorist. You should have saw his face light up. It's like he couldn't believe. What? Now, let's take a look at some historical patterns here that may be relevant to where we are in our excitement. And I don't want to mute today's victory, but it's always good to, find similar patterns. We did this yesterday, but I just want to reiterate timelines and pumps. We can see here, this is where we are now. This leg down into June, we pumped up wick to wick 42%. It's pretty violent. And then we did it again after we gave it all back, essentially. And that was 22%, which is still pretty violent, especially in those low numbers. And then we actually did it one more time to 16%. So 16%, 40%, 22%, 16% pumps as we put in lower highs. So we're going to keep our eye out for this. If we give this pump back, that will be very telling, right? It's not that I wouldn't be surprised, because I think time is the timing's weird, right? For this massive pump, August generally a dead month, but here we are, right? It's different this time. So we did that. Now that, and then we finally had the last. That after that last 16% pump, it was an instant. Within a week, we were almost down at the market bottom, and which was November. So this first pump took us to August 15th. So I mean, what is today? What is the date today? August 21st. So I mean, this happened 4 years ago. Not as violent. I mean, we're talking like 2 months, 2 months to get there. Now, what does it look like here? Besides the violence, how many months is this? What are we doing here? I'm one-handing it here with the coffee. Our swing low here, 2 months. This was end of June. So it's hard to argue that we haven't seen this before. But we have, and that's 2022. Let's take a look at the other midterm year, 2018, see if there is any correlation between these ones. And so here we are. Get this swing low, February. I think we had a swing low in February too. E-money, I'll answer this in 1 second. I just want to go through this before I forget. I always get sidetracked. We have this pump, which was, what are you doing here? I pressed you. 2018, that's a 51% pump. Huge. We gave it all back and then some. And then we had so this is July. This is July 18th into August 30th. So the exact same time, we had a 45% pump up to the 50 moving average, as you can see here. You didn't see that last one. The last one was right here. That's the 50% pump, right? Yeah, 50% pump from the February low, which we did have a February low here. And then we kind of sat there for God knows how long. And then, so this is that little kind of into June swing low into end of August, 50%, another 50% banger. That is huge. It's huge. Gave it all back, however, within 2 weeks. And then we climbed that wall of worry again, up another 24%, and then gave it back in 1 week, which was in September. Then we coasted there, and we had our final little capitulation into December. So December 2018, November 2022, Will it be October 2026? Who knows? This question, pianomattyb, does this change your 50K deployment number any? I am now just shooting for under the 200 moving weekly. Yeah, no, it doesn't. See, the thing is, to me, when it comes to like not my plan, like your plan's your plan, my plan's my plan. I just stick to my plans, win or lose. They seem, and it's hard. It's hard. It's hard to stick to these plans when you have these conflicting market moves that kind of change your emotions, right? So that's the thing you have to take into consider the most. Do I feel emotionally different about this? Does that emotional difference start to sway my plan? No, I still think there's time in this bear market to give it all back, because I've been here long enough to see it get given all back. It usually gets given all back. Now, my plan was a very safe plan because I didn't care. If it doesn't go to 50K and I don't get the money in, there's somewhere else to put it, right? It might go to Tesla. I don't know. So the thing about my plan, it had contingencies based on missing the number. I still think 39K. I know it sounds crazy now after this pump, but that's just me going by pattern, cycle, fractals. I still think 39K to 50K, somewhere in there. There's a little moving target, right? Now, if it doesn't and it just keeps going up, I'm fucking happy. Like I couldn't be more happy if it just keeps going up. My only thesis that would change is that I have some pick-a-pop change, the money that I took back from my pick-a-pop bottles to put into something else. And maybe a Tesla. Like I kind of think I missed the AI play, but not with, to me, Tesla is AI. So it's like I don't have to get too into these. The part about the AI move that I purposely left out is I didn't know what the hell they were, right? So I'm not going to sit here in Bitcoin for 8 years learning about the asset to then FOMO into some technology I don't even know about. It's just not a smart investment strategy to FOMO into technologies you don't know and just like, I don't know what it does. I just put the money in there. At least with Tesla, you kind of know that I use it all the time. I don't really, I believe they're all CIA cutouts though. So I'm not saying like Elon Musk is some sort of genius entrepreneur. I do think he's a cutout, but if the power apparatus is behind him, they're going to lift him up no matter what. Is he super smart too? Probably. But no one would buy Tesla if it was CIA, if it was branded CIA, if it was branded NIA. They have to make their technologies look like a citizen did it. Kenny, it started about 3 weeks ago. Pump has more than 3x. I don't hear anyone talking about it. Yeah, wow. Best of luck with the altcoins. I think gold is going to rip again. It's funny because it's as much as gold has ripped, it's really a 1x. Like this kind of sat at 2,200 or 20, like in the low 2,000s for seemingly 5 or 6 years, and then it doubled. So it's like Bitcoin going to 140, going to 140. That would would we be talking about a generation run at 140? No. But when gold sits there for 10 years, it feels pretty good to go up 100%. I heard Teslas might be lacking cold weather, but could be older models. While generally, batteries in general, even on a combustion engine, are worse when it's minus 30. Nothing really works well in minus 30. It just kind of survives, but electric. So, for instance, my electric vehicle, which is not a Tesla, it in the summer it will have like a 515 kilometer range. But then as the temperature goes down, the battery potential goes down and lies. So whatever it says, it uses up quicker, if that makes sense. So with the 500K on in the summer, it will go down slower. So you get more and it goes down slower. In the winter, you get less and it goes down faster, if that makes any sense. It's kind of shitty. But if you got a 240 in your garage, it's very rare. I mean, I've never even come close to maxing out. Like, where am I going on a day? Where am I going 350K on a day? It's very rare. The only time I get a little bit dicey is that when I'm too lazy to put in the garage. And I just, I'm like, I'm not doing anything tomorrow. I'm going to the squash club. What the hell? And then something comes up and I got to go across the city. I start going, I start getting what they call range anxiety. It's not fun. Range anxiety is a bizarre feeling. Most people will never. It's kind of like we used to play this. We called it gas chicken when we would tour, Scotty and I and the Blackout City Kids, because to get to Regina is about 550K, and we'd always try to do it on a tank. It was like a game. It's like, you want to do it? Yeah, let's do it. And then we would roll into Regina on like as fumey gets. And then we would like get gas right at the outskirts of the town. And we would think that was pretty fun, to put ourselves. We're just looking, I was like, ding, everything's dinging. The engine's probably like as parched can get. Somebody said something about hydrogen, or was it? The new tech on motors will be hydrogen. Yeah, well, the thing about the technology of, the batteries now is that it is such a moving target that I don't think, like, I would never buy an electric vehicle, because I remember as an auctioneer in my former life, whenever a Tesla came, because that was back in that day, that was they were the only electric vehicles. It was just whoosh, everybody left. Nobody wanted a off-lease 4-year-old dead battery, essentially. But, to rent them, I enjoy. And I would I would buy a Tesla if I could turn it into a robot and it just worked all night. I think that would be, to me, it's like gaming the system. It would feel like one meal a day. When I've basically come down to one meal a day, and I love it because I feel like I broke the system. I eat once a day and that's it. I'm not hungry ever. And like, I'm existing as a human without worrying about eating, like, it's a weird thing that most people, I gotta eat breakfast. Then they eat breakfast. And then it's like 45 minutes later, ding, what about lunch? Then you kind of live, and then it's okay, gotta have lunch. Then you eat lunch and 45 minutes later, ding, oh my God, what about dinner? So you're almost like your whole life revolves around, it reminded me of like a hamster and a hamster wheel hitting that thing, like the little Skinner box. Where's my food? Where's my food? Where's my food? So to go into one meal a day, a glorious, massive meal, I usually have a steak and like 4 eggs. And that's it. The funny thing about that too is like when it comes to weight loss or gain, it's like I know exactly everything I eat. It's on a plate. And so if the steak's a little smaller or if I don't have 4 eggs, I actually lose that weight the next day. It's very predictable to, like, I didn't put the same amount of fuel in. And I'm different. Where are we talking about here? What size is the tank top you're wearing? Please, Matty B, trying to size up a purchase from your store. Oh, awesome. This is a large. This is a large. So I'm 6'2", 200 pounds. And I could do the large. No. This is an extra large. Sorry. I could do the large, but she's a little too tight, and then it feels weird because you're like, always going, it's like it feels too tight. So I'd rather have the extra large. It shrinks a little. It's a Bella canvas, so it's decent quality. I love Bella Tri-Blend. So just for instance, I have the Tri-Blend Bella canvas shirts from 2021 from the old store, from Spring. I think it's called Spring T-shirt. It's still rocking and rolling. And believe me, guys, I wear these shirts every day. Like, it's not like I just wear them on special occasions. So the quality of the shirt is unbelievable. That's why I just keep, every time I need a new shirt, I just make one, order it. And then I get the Tri-Blend. You can get the Tri-Blend, I think, at like Winners. They sell like blanks for, I think, $12, $15 or whatever. They're just great quality shirts. Let's check out the monthly chart here. No, well, the extra large shows the guns too, right? If you're getting a T-shirt, A-Ponce 5150, and you're my size, anywhere from 5'11" to 6'2", around the 200-pound, get the extra large, because it does shrink a tiny bit. And the worst thing is if you get a shirt, like except the T-shirts, and then you're doing this, pulling down the thing, you gotta, it feels weird. So it's better to, like, comfortably exist within your T-shirt. Squeaky McGee, buy a Tesla after your warranty is over. Turn it into a Bitcoin miner. Wouldn't that be something? If you could mine, like when you, instead of going to, like, you're going to bed, you're sleeping, it's mining Bitcoin. I could see it happening. I could see it happening. That would make sense. Has a rocket ship migrated to the back of the closet? No, I the rocket ship's right there. Believe me, I've been waiting. When I come out and sing "It Feels Like the Bottom," I'll be in the rocket shirt. 100%. They are making now cars on water that are 600 horsepower. Yeah, that's the thing. So the scary thing about owning an electric vehicle is that the technology can make it absolutely, like, obsolete overnight. Once that comes out. Now there's probably weird things going on in the background, like, Tesla/CIA hears that some other country has the water car or the hydrogen car, and then guess what happens? Something mysteriously happens to that co-founder or the scientist or whoever made it. All of a sudden he's disappeared, and then the technology disappears too. What is the poll? What's the poll saying? I can't see it for some reason. It doesn't. I only see no. Okay, well, let me do some math here. No, 77%, and I guess yes is 23%. I can't see it. I just see the no. What they should do, YouTube, it should allow me to click this and have it put up on the screen. That's what it should do. But YouTube is very busy making sure the bots fill up comment sections, like to make like this, which would be, imagine that, how great that would be if I could click on the comment section poll and it would come up here. That would be a very useful tool, but they're too busy allowing like a straight shot for bots to come into not only the videos that don't do well, but the videos that do well, and the shorts that aren't even about Bitcoin. If I do a short about the piano bar, it'll be filled with bots. They're busy facilitating those bots because that's a big money maker for them. Maybe they even get a back end on the bots. Maybe they take a little piece at the back end. I bet we get regulation quicker on water cars than we do literally anything else ever. The problem why I don't think water cars will ever happen is that the first thing that has to happen before a water car comes out is that one of the biggies, call it big pharma, big energy, big oil, big steel, one of them will have to own more aquifers. And I know you're saying, hey, there's people are buying up aquifers right now. Until they can control and own and dribble out water, then you won't see much of a and because what are we talking here? Just a water city. And then what you'll have is the climate activists saying, we need to save that water. For what? For data centers. What? I thought no. There's data, they're just these lemmings. They just go from one thing to another, rationalizing the next. No, we can't have water. That's a waste of water. We need it for the data centers. Had a female bobcat on my lawn yesterday, then a crypto. Female bobcat. I saw a video of someone took a lynx on a plane and pretended it was a baby. That's what my feed is now. That's why it will be regulated faster than anything ever. There's probably still a better technology. I kind of like to tiptoe through the conspiracy gardens that there was a time where everything was abundant and we're actually living in it, but we are almost gaslit into this sense of eternal and infinite scarcity. Like anything you need is infinitely scarce, and just to put a price on it. And one day, kind of like the Bitcoin price, one day all this weird bullshit it'll escape. It'll have terminal velocity and escape out of the clutches of the control power apparatus, and then it will break out. And it will realize they're almost a little bit too pot committed. Like it'd be weird for them to dial back scarcity, seeing as though they've made their entire dynastic lineage off of scarcity, whether it's oil or water, or whatever, or food, right? The funny thing about food too is like in any city, my city, your city, you can go to a steakhouse and have infinite steaks as long as you pay. Right outside the door, you have people that have an 8, and who knows? Maybe they had some Mountain Dew and some Cracker Jacks, right? So you have these weird paradigms where there's absolute abundance right beside absolute scarcity, and somehow you're kind of in the middle of it. And it'll probably get worse, but this is all. Everything comes back to fiat currency. As long as we're in fiat currency, you're going to see all this weird inversion and corruption, because it's what dying cheaters do, right? They have to do whatever they can to keep their lying, cheating, corrupt power apparatus humming along until finally, one day, the truth hits terminal velocity.
Make sure you like and subscribe and share this video.